Okay, folks, sorry, we had to go off the live feed for a few minutes to sort out our internet glitch here. But let's hope and pray that we finally got it sorted out now. And the horde that you eventually saw a few minutes ago is Solin is getting really packed in here. Young people from the continent. And I think the reason why we're having a little delay at the moment is that out of those making the way in here,
please take your seats and silence your mobile phones. The program will begin momentarily.
And you're hearing the announcer right now. The guests have been urged to take their seats. The program will begin shortly. And so they had to go through all of the security check. And this is a miracle for you. Security check, I means security check. And so we've been running through several checks on security, making sure that everyone in here remains safe. Is also the priority of the and so the announcement is going on, and you're seeing the faces of people here. And this is the flip side of the hall, and people are just making contacts and interacting, a lot more of introduction, and of course going on here, making new friends and getting to know people a lot more.
Distinguished guests, please take your seats and silence your mobile phones. The program will begin momentarily.
And so, while we are looking through the corridors of where His Excellency President Weah and the rest of the speakers at this opening ceremony will be making their way in here, people have been urged to take their respective seats. There are pockets of discussion taking place on your camera. You can see where we are. The media gallery is also here. We are opportune to be in this gallery. Huge cameras from all parts of Africa, and several telephones and selfies and personal photographs, and of course getting to know people from several parts of Africa. You see the Nigerians are here, the Ghanaians are here, The Civilians are here. The team from Congo are also here. I've seen most of the leaders of the continent here. I was opportune to see President Malabio yesterday and President Macky Sall and others. So Senegal is also represented. And you can name the rest of them. 40 heads of state from Africa. It tells you how important Washington, D.C. is. The U.S. Africa Leaders Summit is called. And I see a gentleman walking out back and forth now. And it is a clear indication that we are almost to it. Keep watching. Invite a friend to listen. And I see the aide of the president, Sekou Kalasko, just making his way somewhere. He's trying to find a seat. And so Sekou Kalasko is in the audience as well. Just trying to get his position right. So he's seated. And we are closing into the moment and within the time space where the unfoldings or the sealed will get unsealed. Dr. Weah, His Excellency President of the Republic of Liberia, speaks shortly. There is a delay due to security check on these participants here. Very youthful participant. And I'm sure the presidents will soon be announced, watching through their eyes to see President Malabio and others. And so they are now making their way inside one after the other. Right in your camera there is President Bio. Right there. He's already inside. Just trying to catch him from a distance and holding a conversation in your camera. We are getting very close now. The first president to join the audience is the president of Sierra Leone, Julius Malabio. And I'm very sure those who are invited to this opening section.
Yes. Please welcome the Secretary of State of the United States, Antony J. Blinken.
Antony Blinken. Antony Blinken.
Good morning, everyone. Wow, it is wonderful to see this incredible auditorium full. I think hopefully actually have a little breakfast before this, but I'm here simply to say this. Welcome to the African and Diaspora Young Leaders Forum. Your Excellencies, President Weah of Liberia is in the house. President Malabio of Sierra Leone. Thank you. Thank you both for traveling to Washington for the U.S. African Leaders Summit. It means a great deal to have this time in person with you. And I also saw in the House Greg Meeks, the Chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Here as well. It's wonderful to have you this morning. So to everyone joining us this morning, members of the African Diaspora, African American youth leaders, students in the United States and Africa who are tuning in virtually. Thank you for all that you do to strengthen the bonds between African countries, and the United States. Now, it is fitting that we are meeting here at the National Museum of African American History and Culture, a national treasure. On its top floor, and I don't know if you've had the opportunity to visit, but on the top floor of the museum, there's an exhibit called Cultural Expressions. It explores in part the contributions of the African diaspora and how its members have shaped American culture and life through fashion, the arts, dance, language, food, music. Across the exhibit and museum, we see the unique culture in objects like a recipe book brought by Pierre Thiam, a great chef who brought the flavors of Senegal to New York City through his beloved Teranga restaurant. Or a flag of the United States whose colors have been replaced by the colors of the Pan-African flag, titled the African American flag, which has served as a symbol of African American and African pride and protest movements throughout our history. As this museum shows, the United States continues to be enriched immeasurably by the African diaspora. From the piercing comedy of Trevor Noah, who we will miss on The Daily Show, to the old day of Thames, who I happen to have on my phone, the speed skating of Mama Pine, who I don't have on my phone, among so many others. Often, we see members of the diaspora return to the countries to which they're connected and empower the people there. This past August, I was in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and I met with someone who may be familiar to some of you, a certain NBA Hall of Famer, Dikembe Mutombo, whose foundation has provided high-quality health care to more than 30,000 patients, regardless of their economic status. I can also say Dikembe is very, very tall. And a wonderful, wonderful person. The importance of the diaspora, to the past, to the present, to the future of both African nations and the United States, is why this is one of the very first events of the African Leaders Summit. Earlier this year in South Africa, I had an opportunity to set up the administration's new strategy for sub-Saharan Africa. It's a strategy rooted in one key word: partnership. And in recognition that we can't solve any of our shared priorities unless we work together. And it's a strategy that recognizes the immense role that the African diaspora and young people will play in shaping and strengthening that partnership. And in fact, that's exactly what you're already doing. Back in August, I had a chance to meet with members of the diaspora and African American youth leaders right here in Washington to hear a little bit about some of the work that they were doing. One young leader who's mobilized climate finance to make the water sector more resilient in South Africa is now sharing the lessons that she learned at a U.S. government agency. Another, fresh off her experience fighting infectious disease in Malawi, was sharing her insights with nonprofits and businesses in the United States. Others were expanding educational opportunities for children, conducting environmental research, creating job opportunities for youth in both African countries and the United States, and demonstrating exactly why the diaspora is such an unparalleled asset for people on both continents. It's these interconnections, the back and forth, and the benefits that flow to African nations and the United States alike that is so incredibly powerful. The United States is committed to ensuring that young people can continue to bring their talents and hard work to the benefit of people across the continent and to the benefit of people in the United States. We've got a number of programs that are doing just that. Programs like the Young African Leaders Initiative, and to our economic development programs like the Academy for Women Entrepreneurs program. Now, since its inception in 2019, that program has provided more than 5,400 women throughout Africa the training and the networks that they need to start and to scale small businesses. Over the next few days, we will be announcing additional investments to make it easier for students to participate in exchange programs between our countries, to produce trade opportunities for members of the African diaspora, and to support African entrepreneurs and small businesses. Each of these investments is guided by one overarching goal: to continue building our partnership so that we can better address the shared challenges we face, and ultimately, we can build a safer, more secure, more prosperous future for all of us. And now, I have the great pleasure and the honor of introducing His Excellency President Weah of Liberia. Now, President Weah, I happen to have been in Qatar for the World Cup, and I did get an opportunity to speak to you in detail then, but I wanted to thank you for all you've done to strengthen the bonds between Liberia and the United States. Including your support of the Liberia diaspora. And thanks for all that you and your family have done to support that goal too, including quite literally by scoring a few goals. So I was there, the first match between the United States and Wales, and I got to cheer your son, Timothy, scoring the first goal for the United States men's soccer team. But the best part of that was turning around and getting a quick look at your face as you watched your son score that goal, and I could see the extraordinary pride that was there, and an entire stadium cheering him on. So I guess the apple just doesn't fall too far from the tree in this case. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of Liberia. Thank you.
And so, U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken welcoming His Excellency President Weah of the Republic of Liberia.
The Honorable Anthony J. Blinken, Secretary of State of the United States of America, Excellencies, colleagues, Palestinian young African leaders, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I bring you warm greetings and best wishes from the friendly people of the Republic of Liberia. It is indeed an honor to join my colleagues from Africa to participate in this year's U.S.-Africa Leaders Summit. On behalf of the government and people of Liberia, and in my own name, I would like to extend heartfelt appreciation to the Honorable Joseph R. Biden, Jr., President of the United States of America, and the government and people of the United States for the invitation to be in attendance and participate in this important summit here in Washington, D.C. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Liberia has a long and historic relationship with the United States, which has led us to having common positions on issues such as democracy, human rights, global peace and security. We hold the views that this summit will strengthen our partnership and increase our commitment to foster strong cooperation in seeking the broad interests of our respective countries, in particular, and the world at large. Liberia believes that such engagement between Africa and the United States will improve and strengthen bilateral and multilateral relationships, foster peace and security on the continent of Africa. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, with millions of African descendants and migrants in the diaspora, there is no doubt that this is a vast reservoir of talent, training, expertise, and financial capacity which must and should be utilized to enhance the advancement and development of our continent. This collaborative effort will serve as the bridge connecting Africans in the diaspora back to their collective roots and cultural identities. It is therefore our responsibility as leaders to recognize and acknowledge the significance of these many millions of our compatriots living in the diaspora communities, whose contributions are necessary for the growth and development of our continent. Although physically separated from the motherland, they have a major influence on the socio-economic, cultural, and political landscape of their respective countries, which should not be overlooked or underestimated. In recognition of the value of our Liberian diaspora community, at the inception of my administration nearly 5 years ago, I embarked upon the process of removing restrictive laws to encourage the Liberian diaspora to contribute more to the development of our country. Today, I'm pleased to inform you that in July this year, I signed into law an act authorizing dual citizenship and allowing women to pass citizenship to their children. By so doing, our administration has now removed all legal barriers which had prevented natural-born Liberians from rightfully resuming citizenship of the land of their ancestors. Once a Liberian, always a Liberian. This is a demonstration of my government's commitment to ensure that our diaspora is not left out in the national reconstruction and development of Liberia. We consider the Liberian diaspora community as a valuable asset to our nation's growth and development, and therefore participation is an important part of the nation-building process. Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Africa's future ought to be bright. We have the potential to turn around the green outlook of the continent that is presented in the news daily. With more than 60% of Africans being young people, we have a demographic dividend capable of making our region responsive to the needs of its people. The role young people and the general African diaspora must play in addressing the needs of the continent must be through innovation, investment, and knowledge transfer. It is often said in Africa that young people are our future leaders. But I have observed that not much opportunities are created to allow them to reach their full potential. This has made a growing number of them to seek opportunities here in the West, where they have acquired quality education and useful skills in order to contribute to the development and advancement of society. I believe that young people are capable of conquering the world if given the place to stand. From the poor and the humble background growing up in the slum of Gibraltar in Liberia, I managed through hard work, discipline, and determination to climb to the top of my career as a professional footballer. While pursuing my professional career in the diaspora myself, I took back many investments to my home country, Liberia, also Zanzibar, Cote d'Ivoire, and other parts of Africa. I invested in many businesses, and I invested in human capital by supporting many young people in acquiring education to enable them to advance their lives and have a livelihood. And also today, I say to the youth of Africa You can also succeed in your chosen fields of endeavors if you are prepared to be resilient, disciplined, and determined. African government must also create the enabling environment and the requisite framework that will allow our young people in the diaspora to contribute through their education and innovation to the transformation of our beloved continent. Our brothers and sisters in the diaspora as indispensable partners in the development aspiration of our various countries, we must welcome them. We must embrace them. We must recognize them. Africans in the diaspora and Africans in Africa are one people. We can succeed if we allow peace to reign. We can succeed if we lay the framework for our young people to have a smooth transition in the democratic process. There is no doubt in my mind that the young population of Africa has a significant role in whichever direction Africa takes. So, my distinguished African diaspora brothers and sisters, I would like to invite you to join us in helping to build a new Africa where peace, unity, democracy, human rights, comprehensive freedom, tolerance, togetherness, cooperation, reconciliation, equal opportunity for all, so that growth and sustainable development will be the cornerstone and foundation for the future of Africa. God bless Africa. God bless Liberia. God bless the United States of America. May God bless us all. I thank you.
His Excellency President George Martin Weah of Liberia.
Please welcome Congressman Gregory Meeks, Chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee.
At this opening ceremony. Again, I want to say thank you to all of you for joining us at this opening ceremony. And it's been a great time. We hope you had a wonderful time. Until we talk to you again, we'll be sometime later on during the course of the day. Until then, my name is Smith Story. God bless you.